I've been so fortunate and blessed in my life to work with so many amazing men, CEOs, convention presidents, pastors, entrepreneurs, senators. Many have been great examples and role models, but none compare to the role model of my older brother, Marcus. This is a man who has taken full responsibility for whatever situation and circumstances that he has found himself in life. And for me, this goes back as far as when he was 16 years old. That is so rare in today's society, and it is also one of the main reasons that we find ourselves in the state that we're in. Marcus's motto for life is, you are responsible for what you say and what you do. And not only has he talked that talk, but I've watched him for nearly 30 years walk that walk. When I was a freshman and just adjusting to the whole high school atmosphere, I watched him and how he handled, the big man on campus, and the way he carried himself with humility, and he was always approachable. I took notice of how teachers and administrators admired his character, that they would bring their kids up and introduce their kids to him. As the ministry of Men of Faith started to take off, he was already starting to deal with the challenges of being a single dad. His biggest responsibility was his daughter and being the dad and filling in the gap for the lack of a responsible mom. And so that would mean not being able to be at studio sessions or gigs. It wasn't until more than 3 years later, when I was at a ministry conference, they did a presentation on how so many of the problems we're seeing in our society, and this was around 2002, 2003, so many of them were related to children growing up in broken homes without a father's love, guidance, and influence. And when I got home, I had to call him and apologize to him, because I realized then he was right. His highest priority wasn't the group, and it wasn't, the ministry to those churches. His first ministry needed to be to his children. So to watch him go through several hardships and challenges and never blame anyone. He didn't blame the mother, didn't blame his family, didn't blame his children. He would consistently take responsibility that this was on him. And whatever he needed to do to make sure that they were okay, and the things that he missed out on, a tryout with the Miami Heat, that scholarship, that's what he did. And so at that time he was working nights so that days would be free, and literally him coming over multiple nights out of the week so that he would be editing projects with me after midnight as we built the business. No matter how many computers, and I go through a lot over the years, I've always kept this picture, and it was taken when I drove to his mom's house one day, and he is sitting in the back of his truck having Bible study with Jasmine. And so when you fast forward and I see her graduating with her degree and her life and career taking off the way that it has, and Jackie going into upper management for a Fortune 500 company and being a wife and a new mother, I want to share with people that this does not happen by accident. Sacrifices have to be made. Investments have to be made. Watching him walk this walk, even when I've moved away and we don't see each other on a regular basis, has still been a blessing. You know, we've dealt with this pandemic for over 2 years, but we've had an epidemic of absent fathers for more than 2 generations. And so when you see successful, fruitful young adults, we need to examine the structure that they came from that produced those results. We often say to each other, success is not an accident, and there is no Hebrew translation for coincidence. You have to be willing to put the work in. I've witnessed him put the work in. I've witnessed him being intentional about caring for people. He's often had to be the balance to my bulldozer mentality. When I sit back today and I see the post with him and Erica and their beautiful family, and to be there for their wedding, and to get to see them enjoying and making the modifications to their beautiful home, it's even more special for me because I know the path that he went down to get to this place where he is was not easy. And so many walk away. And so, bro, you deserve all the joy that you are experiencing because you have been faithful and you've put in the work and the sacrifice to get to the place where you are today. But I think back, you know, these young kids heading out into the world soon and thinking and dreaming, you know, late nights talking about what we wanted to do with our lives and where we wanted to be. And while you have a few more years, Brohim, at UPS before you reach another milestone, on this Father's Day, to say to you, bro, how much of a blessing it has been to watch you as a father, the examples you have set as a husband, and how much I've learned from following your examples for nearly 30 years. That's been a long ride. I'm still trying to come to terms with you as a grandpa. When I literally watch videos of you 360 slam dunking, enjoy your day, continue to enjoy the journey. And as we used to say before we ever took the stage, whatever you do, let it glorify the Lord. Love you, bro.